Welcome to the Bothy podcast. Here we're going to talk about mental health with the theme of comfort and disturb. I really hope you enjoy what you hear. And if you find some of what we say upsetting, I hope it really helps to educate you. My name's Morgan. I have a diagnosis of schizophrenia and I'm a member of Bothy, which is a mental health and wellbeing hub in Helensburgh in Argyll in Scotland. I'm a writer. I publish on Substack weekly and was awarded an MBE for services to mental health some years ago. And today we're in conversation with Dave, and we're going to be talking about bullying in childhood, which is certainly on the realm of the disturbing. Dave, I know you're here to talk about bullying, but first of all, can you tell us a bit about your life first? Who you are, what you like doing, how long you've lived here, anything really, just to get to know you.
Sure. So my life, some of that will obviously come out in this. Kind of a loner. That's a label that they give people like myself. I've worked in all kinds of different industries. I qualified in agriculture, pig husbandry, and mechanical and agriculture engineering. I came to Scotland 28 years ago after working out in Europe selling country clothing. I've worked in the concrete industry, making monoblocks, factories making slabs and curbs, but worked on the engineering side, so I was a fitter's mate. Really enjoyed that because you were a night shift and there was only two of you and there was nobody supervising you, so you could make your own stuff to take home, you know.
That sounds good.
Well, the engineer I worked with was he kept budgies and he was always making new little nesting boxes and bits and pieces for his budgies. I was making garden tools because me and a friend used to do a bit of landscape gardening on like homers. You know.
That sounds a fascinating life. One thing you said earlier is that you've always felt different. And I can identify with that, but what do you mean by it?
So, knowing that you don't fit in, even as a child, knowing that nobody wanted to play with you, and I was more confident playing in the dirt with my diggers than having somebody with me. I did once or twice have a neighbour, a lad but he didn't have the concept of scale, so he would have like a great big dump truck and a little tiny matchbox digger, and that would just drive me insane because it's obviously, how can a person fit in that? It's like, it doesn't work. So obviously feeling different in that way.
Yeah. So when you were at school, you were seen by a psychologist. Do you know why that was, and how did it go when you saw them?
I think it was to do with the pulling of the hair, and my mother and father requested that I speak to someone because they were taking me to the just the normal doctors, and he kept saying things like, "What are you doing that for? Only girls pull their eyebrows out. Do you want to be a girl like that?" I was like, "No."
It sounded like quite an inappropriate way for the doctor to speak to you.
Yeah, he's a family doctor. Sadly enough, he committed suicide.
Oh, that's sad, isn't it?
Yeah, so he had his own problems. So how did it make me feel? I didn't feel special, and nobody else in the class knew that I was seeing a psychologist because it wasn't like they came to the classroom and took me out and then everybody would be wondering what's going on. It was like, don't go to class, just go to the hall. And, I don't really remember all the ins and outs of the logistics of it. I just remember seeing a school psychologist like once a month or something.
And did you find it helpful or?
A little, probably a little. It's hard to recall how I actually felt.
Yeah. And now I've got a question which is in multiple parts. It was not till your 30s that you were diagnosed with autism. How did it feel getting that diagnosis? And do you think it might have helped if you'd known that earlier in your life?
Yeah, so it was a bit of a relief hearing that, because I had a label of my own. Not that I liked being labelled, but it was something I could say, well, that happens because of this. And yes, if I had known when I was younger, I could have probably got more help. Although saying that, in those days, it's not that long ago, is it? But those days, there was a lot of stigma around all of that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Can I just quote something that I remembered today? A cousin of mine, who was a lot older, had a breakdown, and all the adults were whispering about how awful it was that she's had this breakdown, and nobody knew she lived a life like that, and it's so sad.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah. Because you know, they're judging somebody that's had a breakdown and lumping it in with a mass murderer or something.
Yeah. It's not that long ago that people were talking about the men in white coats, was it, coming to take you away and stuff? Which is really sad, because it is really quite recent, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, your childhood and your school days they featured a huge amount of bullying in them. And if it's not too hard, can you tell us a little of what happened in those days?
It started very early when it started in playgroup. I was a girl that would always pull my hair, drag me along by my hair. So obviously I hated going there. I'm not sure if that was bullying or not, or just how she was. Infant school, I was picked on a lot, huge amount. I was very slow with my reading. It turned out in my senior school life that they said I was dyslexic, so I went all the way through all that without nobody knowing what was wrong. The bullying, I have one very vivid memory, and that is of in the playground, laying on my back, almost and occasionally in like a fetal position, being kicked by a group of lads all the way around me. And I looked up and I saw my best friend putting the boot into me. And so not only was I really upset about being beaten up, I was really upset that my best friend was one of the people beating me up. So I said to him, why did you do that? We're supposed to be friends. And he said, if I didn't kick you, then they would kick me as well. And we ceased really being... I was still friends with him, but I could never shake that from my mind all through.
That must be a terrible memory to have.
Yeah, because friends are supposed to look after each other. Try and stop what's happening, even if you can't stop it, but try.
Yeah.
But not join in.
Yeah. That must have been a horrible childhood. Were you able to tell anyone about the bullying, or did anyone try to help you with it?
Well, I continuously running away from school when I was younger, and at the time my mum wasn't working, so she was at home, doing housework and stuff, and she would just take me straight back. She actually became a dinner lady there. There's someone that walks around, or does the dinners, and then walks playtime, monitoring. And I wonder if I never really thought about it to this exact moment, but I wonder if she took that role in a way to try and protect me.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah. It just suddenly occurred to me. It's not something we ever spoke about, but yeah.
Must have been terribly lonely.
Yes.
The impact of this has affected all of your adult life. Can you tell me a bit more about that? What did it do to you in your growing up and becoming an adult?
Yeah, so it's a bit like a comedian.
Mm-hmm.
Most comedians are people that have been bullied in some way, and they tell jokes, make people laugh, and then they don't bully them. I didn't tell jokes, but I would do anything to please them, to stop them from bullying me. And that's stayed with me all the way through my life, because people say, oh, you're very generous, but I'm just trying to please people so I'd be liked.
Oh, yeah.
And so knowing that doesn't even stop it.
Yeah, the need always to...
The need to always please somebody.
Yeah.
Give them gifts. Even money.
And it's affected your mental health too, hasn't it?
Yes. Yes. That label of a loner, it's not fair.
No, not at all. It's amazing what we can do to each other and how cruel we can be, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Now, you've had like you were saying, a wonderfully varied employment record,
Mm-hmm.
but that hasn't really let you have, if you like, a typical career.
That's right.
And I think you worry about the future.
Yes. Everybody else in my family, I have 2 brothers and 2 sisters. And my oldest sister is probably in the same boat as me, through no fault of her own. They have careers. They're now all retired. They have their pensions, the work pensions, and so because I've moved through so many different jobs, that's good, because yes, I have learnt so many things, and I can show other people how to do things. It's no safety net for me. There's no future for me.
Yeah.
I can't imagine. I'm on benefits at the moment for my health.
Yeah.
I can't imagine the benefits being smaller, because it's just a small pension.
Yeah.
I can't imagine doing that. I don't want to do that. I don't see a future.
That's horrible, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's really horrible. Yeah. However, on a positive side, you're a sculptor.
Yes.
And you created the wonderful gate in our garden. I photograph it so many times to say, so one of our members did that. The sculpting job gave you a lot of pleasure. So
it did, yeah.
Tell me more about that.
So I was working on the digital switchover as a field manager, and it was just while the digital switchover was happening, and then after that you move on. But I actually had a breakdown towards the end of it, because I was just run ragged. And so I didn't get any mental health help, even though I had cut myself up badly and ended up in hospital. I was sectioned for about a month. Sorry.
It was the sculpting.
The sculpting. So I set my own business up, so that I knew I could take days off when I needed days off, and not be, held. Why were you off? Going through disciplinary and things like that.
And it must have worked for quite a time now.
It did, yes. So I did that for about 9 years. And COVID came along, and so a lot of my sales were to shops, wholesale orders, and also venues, craft fairs and stuff like that, and all that stopped.
Yeah.
And although I was still getting orders coming in for stuff, it wasn't enough.
Yeah.
And I couldn't afford to stay where I was renting, so I went and moved with a friend and stayed there. But then I was under a lot of pressure. The deal was to look after the children, and I just had a terrible breakdown in the end. Absolutely terrible one, and here I am.
Yeah. But my memory is that many people really, really liked the work you produced. People would come back year after year for your work.
Yes, they did, and I had a customer in Hong Kong who had a furniture business, but he was looking for gift type things, and he would ask me if I could make, from the barrel staves, different things, and I would make that for him, and he made a point of coming across and then shipping it all back. And I also had two little old ladies that would come and buy the keyring bag charms. They would buy maybe 60 at a time, and they take them to Africa to give to school children. So it's nice to know.
That is, isn't it? Yeah. It is good, a good feeling, that, isn't it?
And then, and of course, the emotional ones where you make something, and it makes the person that ordered it burst into tears with joy.
Yeah.
And I find it hard to understand that.
I know many people who find it very, very hard to receive compliments. Would that apply to you? Perhaps?
Yes, it would. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now, on a slightly sad note, you've got some thoughts on why bullying can be a part of life. That sometimes it's almost a natural reaction to some of us. Is that right?
Yes, the feralness, isn't it? So, by describing a pack of wolves, they won't tolerate a weaker wolf in the pack, and then they either kill it or exile it. And humans are just the same. If you're the weaker child at school, you will be bullied until oblivion. And really, the schools promote it, in my view, through sport activities, champions and losers.
So if there have to be winners and successful people, there have to be people who are outcast in a way because they're not successful.
Yeah, that's the way I see it, because that was me in the playground, always put in goal, because I was no good at anything else, and I was hopeless in goal. So the balls would get past me and I would get beaten up.
Oh, yuck. What do you think schools could do nowadays? I know that they share a degree of responsibility, but is there anything they can do about, say, emotional literacy or about kindness or compassion?
Yes, they must be able to. And they need to teach it from young, because it starts, doesn't it? It starts in the playground of the little schools, and people gang up on it, and that needs to be stopped. It really needs to be stopped.
It does. How would they do it, do you think?
I remember at school we saw a film, and I can't remember exactly what it was about, but it was a lesson to be learned. And that went down quite well. And I think if you have more things like that, showing people the consequences, they don't see the consequence. They give you a punch in the face or a kick in the stomach. They're not seeing the consequence of what they've done. They might think it's funny. Or they might be doing it because they need to, because they're in a group and all the group's doing it, but they might not necessarily do it as an individual.
Yeah. And kindness, to you that's hugely important. Do you want to elaborate on that a bit?
Kindness is very important because it shows people care. I just can't think of an example for the moment.
No, that's fine. Just the fact it's important is
it is
more
important.
Than enough.
Yeah. I always say everybody should do one nice thing every day.
It'd be good, wouldn't it? And it's not too hard to do that, is it?
Yeah, but now if you hold a door open for somebody, you either get thanked or not thanked because of people identifying in different ways. And
What about, would you have a message, say, for parents whose children are being bullied at the moment?
Let the children know that you care about them and that they must tell them what's happening so that even though if they think they tell it's going to get worse, it won't get worse. But if nobody knows, then you're always going to be suffering.
Yeah. And a message, say, for a child that is being bullied at the moment, is there anything you could offer them?
Yes. Don't try and please them. And always make sure you do things for yourself, not for other people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's very powerful what you're saying. It's an honour to be hearing this. Lastly, on a completely different topic, you're often here in Jean's Bothy. I see you here all the time. What's a typical
all
day?
The time I can be here.
What's a typical day like here?
So, coffee.
Coffee?
I like to have a coffee before I do anything.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't matter if it's raining. I'll go into the garden and do a bit of gardening. Weeding. I love weeding.
You love weeding?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Uh-huh.
Weeding. I can listen to music while I'm weeding or a podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Or I just have my own thoughts. And I'm not really thinking about weeding. I'm just thinking about other things. Mm-hmm. And it's peaceful. And then also, planting plants and planning and making decisions and about what goes where and when. And I often come here in the evenings actually as well, especially when it's the summer and it's warm. I come about 7 o'clock and do the last watering because it's getting cooler. And then I would sit, if there's any apples in here or oranges, I'll go and sit in the garden and have a bit of fruit.
That sounds lovely.
Yeah.
That's a lovely image to hear.
Yeah.
Because the garden is beautiful, isn't it? It's really nice. And a large part of that is down to your efforts.
Yes, I do have help. I have Greg who does the grass cutting. And we now have a battery lawnmower, so we're not constantly fighting with a cable that goes round everything you don't want it to go round. And he also helps with the hedge trimming and stuff like that.
Thank you.
And if I can't make it, he'll come and water for me.
Brilliant. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for that. It's been an honour listening to you. And I hope what you say and what people hear from this will really help them understand some of the crueler sides of life. This definitely is one of the themes of Disturb in our podcast, but I think vitally important for that.
Yes.
Thank you so much for being a part of this.
You're very welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.